everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Domers Report. I'm Landon Traylor, joined by my brother, Logan Traylor, cousin Dylan Kearns, and our good friend John Richards, Jr. The Irish, they dropped a heartbreaking 17-14 loss in South Bend to the Ohio State Buckeyes on Saturday night. A lot of questionable play calls, penalties, or lack of self-inflicted wounds. So let's get into it. Here's how we're going to do things. We're going to break down some of the stats, go into our offense, and then we're going to break down our defense because that is obviously the main issue there in that ball game. I think a lot of people as well with the 10 men on the field. So Sam Hartman on Saturday, he was 17 for 25 with 175 yards and 1 touchdown. Was not his best performance by any means. We've seen Sam Hartman play a lot better, quite frankly, in a lot bigger games, and a lot, similar to these games. You look back, he's played Clemson a couple of times when they were in the top 5, and he's put up a couple hundred yards. So Audric Estime only had 70 yards on 14 rushes. I'll get into that a little bit more, but he would not put his head down and just run the ball. It seemed that he was thinking about it too much, and rightfully so. There's some big guys up there. But man, you're as big as Audric Estime. I thought he was going to just put his head down and run like he has been all year long. Jeremiah Love was my running back of the game. He had 57 yards in that game, as well as led a touchdown drive for Notre Dame that obviously ended in a Sam Hartman touchdown, but nonetheless, it was a good drive. Jadarian Price also had 22 yards for the Irish. Notre Dame ran the ball very, very well in the second half. We controlled that line of scrimmage in the second half. Now, the first half's another story. It was obvious that the defense for Ohio State, it was worn down in that second half. They gave up 14 points. Meanwhile, we gave up 0 in the second half until 1 second ago. But overall, it was not our best offensive performance. We still made plays, yes, and ultimately set us up to win. You score 14 points and you hold Ohio State to 17. You think, you hold Ohio State to 17 points anytime, you thinking you win the ball game. So, Logan, thoughts here on Ohio State, Notre Dame on September 23rd?
Obviously, a heartbreaker. Had some time to really chill out and kind of get all the emotions out before this, but just frustrating. It's an opportunity missed. It's a game that should have been won but wasn't. Frankly, Ohio State was the better team. They won. They had more points on the scoreboard. And what's frustrating about it is you think you make enough plays, to put yourself in a position to win that game. Throughout the game, I thought, there were some really good play calls, some really good stuff, especially on offense. I thought we just couldn't capitalize when it mattered. We couldn't execute when it mattered, and that's what hurt offensively. No deep threat, which hurt. I think we didn't prepare, the best that we could have when it came to the passing game. Ohio State played a lot of zone, which they don't typically do, but you obviously gave a new look to Sam Hartman. Some negatives and positives. Let me know if you're tired of hearing my voice, but Rico Flores came out and played a hell of a game. I thought, that was a bright spot. Having Mitchell Evans back was incredible. 7 targets, 7 catches, had a great first half, and then was kind of quiet the second half. But I thought he did an extremely good job blocking in the run game as well. So it's nice to know that we have a coherent tight end that can, do what Notre Dame wants to do, especially with the offense that we have. Disappointed and just not being able to finish. I think, defensively, you have 2 opportunities there, really, especially in the last drive to force a turnover. DJ Brown, makes that pick. Not going to blame it on one play, but, we're smiling today if he catches that ball. But I think the most frustrating part, and, obviously we're going to talk about it, is, the kids played their butt off. There's no questioning the work ethic and the preparation in that aspect. But, from a coaching standpoint, you feel like you you let you let all those guys down. Having 10 guys. I don't know if you guys have listened to his press conferences either after the game or yesterday, but he had no idea. Marcus had no idea that they had 10 guys, and just from that standpoint, as JR knows, you can't. You got to your job is to put your kids in a position to succeed, and that's just it's inexcusable. It's unacceptable. You have a chance to really make a statement to not only Ohio State and the Midwest, but to the whole country.
Correct.
And you let your kids down. You let your kids down. And not once but twice. So that's disappointing. I thought Marist, after a really good start, he was not very good. J.D. Bertrand was not very good. I think we finally learned that we have some secondaries and safeties that can battle with the big dogs. Benjamin Morrison, had a great game. Was really proud to see that. We haven't had that in Notre Dame in a long time, but disappointing to say the least. But what's great about it and why we're Notre Dame is we have 7 more opportunities, and out of those 7 opportunities, you have 4 really, really good opponents left. So
now you mentioned a coaching standpoint here. JR and Logan, they've coached in some pretty big games. JR and Logan basketball coaches. I'll send it to JR. How does that happen in arguably the biggest game Notre Dame's had in 30 years? How does that happen in that magnitude?
Well, it's apples and apples in some ways, but it's also apples to oranges for myself in other ways, simply because logistically being on a basketball court compared to being on a football field with 10 times as many kids on a basketball court, it is much more difficult to manage those situations. I can't speak to those because I've never been in those spots, and coach did kind of mention some of that stuff in his press conference about balls on the far hash and we're over here, but it happened twice.
Right.
And it happened twice after they had taken a timeout. Our coach took his headset off before the final play. Those things can happen, but there also needs to be, where's the defensive captain on the field as well? There needs to be somebody out there on the field. You have to have a coach on the field as well that is saying something, like at least repositioning the players. So, you guys saw how that giant hole that they ran in. I don't want to get boy, Logan, that was very sobering, that intro that you provided there.
Better than
I think you said it best by saying, not being able to finish, and not just on that play, but you look out throughout the entire 60 minutes of that game. Schrader missed a kick. 4th down and 1, and we're sneaking Hartman. Everybody remembers those last 2 plays because of what happened.
Playing prevent on
but all of those things that took place, and give credit to Zero State and fake tough guy, just for men Ryan Day. You might want to let that beard get a little gray, dude. Everybody knows the joke is up, man.
Red cheeks.
All of our wounds were self-inflicted. Ohio State won the game. But when do we play Duke? Let's go. I'm ready to look forward, because for 59 minutes and 57 seconds, we played the way that I believe we were capable of playing against the best in the country. And those thoughts were validated. Yeah, we fell short. Again, a lot of that goes to how good Ohio State is. I'm really disappointed in Hartman. I thought he would have made more plays than the freshman coming in with, 3 games under his belt. not even 3 full games under his belt. But, just some questionable things that maybe a rookie coach doesn't allow to happen with some more vocal leadership on the communication end. That last drive, we before we kicked it back to Ohio State, we pick up 2 first downs with our bowling ball, and then they take them out of the game. And we start to get cute to try to manage. Didn't need to manage anything else. Just keep doing what you were doing. We outthought ourselves. It was like watching a Stefanski Browns game. Just order the steak, medium, dude. You don't need it medium rare with all the fixings and trimmings. Just stick to the basics. I didn't think our coaches were gonna behave like that, but they did, unfortunately, and it cost us, and it gave Ohio State an opportunity to steal a win that they did. Give him credit for doing it. But I'm going to stick up for Lou Holtz because I think Ohio State won the game, but he ain't wrong because we shoved it up their ass pretty much for 59 minutes, especially those 2 offensive drives in the second half.
97 yards.
I mean, 96 yards right down their throat to what we thought win the game. And you turn the game over in that situation. To our defense, I thought we were in a good spot, and we had plenty of plays to make before the 10 men on the field. Again, not being able to finish. DJ Brown, he had a pick 6. He had green pastures ahead. So I'll shut up now. I'm ready for Duke. It sucks. I hate Zero State. Fake guy Tommy. Tough guy Ryan Day. He still sucks. He's not one of their own either. You lose to Michigan, nobody gonna remember any of this anyway. Keep picking on an 89-year-old man or 86.
Right.
Go for it, buddy. If that's what you need to get your team and yourself fired up, go for it.
Right.
By the way, our coach has a national championship.
Right. Exactly. JR, first dollar in the swear jar today. I'll keep that handy for Logan and Dylan here.
You got a lot of singles today.
Yeah.
Making it rain. So Dylan Kearns, I'll throw it to you. Just quickly here, overall thoughts on that ball game.
I was disappointed. No shit, right? Throw another dollar in there. Make it rain. Make it freaking rain. Because every single golly, God, right? So freaking close. So close. And I know the kids played hard. And I know that they made a halftime adjustment. That's one thing that I haven't seen a lot of from Marcus Freeman. But he made a halftime adjustment. He came out there and said, we're going to run the ball. It's like you were half on being an aggressive downhill, we're going to shove it up you, and half, oh my gosh, we're pussies, we're going to sneak it with Hartman, we're going to try an outside run, we're going to try some dumb stuff, and you can't stop every single time. It's like you thought you could do it, and you're like, wait, no, it's Ohio State. Let's dial it back. We better not run Estime down their throat. What if they stop us? What if they don't? I mean, honest to God. I will say one player that I was impressed with, Hilton Head kid, Jalen Sneed. He played his ass off. Another dollar. I say he had a great game, right? But I mean, there were a lot of positive takeaways. Freeman got his guys ready. He got them fired up. He got them ready. They played hard. They outplayed them. They played a very good game. Estime, you can look at the 14 for 70, but if you take away his one big 22-yard run, that's a pretty mediocre / bad day. I agree with Logan. Put your head down. You got to plow. Was that you that said that? There you go. Okay. But what I'm saying is, Sam Hartman can't throw for 175 yards. This is supposed to be the best quarterback we've seen since what? Jimmy Clausen, since who was Brady Quinn. Is this the best quarterback we've seen from them? Because I could make the argument right now that Notre Dame wins that game with Ian Book. No questions asked.
Interesting. From an Ohio State standpoint, they went 21 for 37. McCord did with 240 yards. He did not throw a touchdown. Egbuka, 96 yards. He's the one that really hurt us. I think it's kind of pick your poison with Ohio State. They are a very talented team. we left him open a lot, as well as their tight end. He was wide open all night long. Stover, 52 yards.
Awesome.
He is Michael Mayer. Logan compared him to
Who,
Michael.
who said that he was their best player last week? Was it JR?
JR.
That dude is that's a man out there.
Correct. Johnson had 40 yards and Marvin Harrison Jr. only had 32. Once again, Benjamin Morrison did a hell of a job. I'll throw mine in. I don't cuss on the show much, but I thought he did a hell of a job against one of the nation's best in Marvin Harrison Jr. Ohio State had 366 total yards compared to Notre Dame's 351. I mean, you look at these numbers, guys, you're thinking we held Ohio State to 17 points. We held Marvin Harrison Jr. to 32 yards. We only lost the yardage battle by 15 yards. You're thinking we win the game, and we did up until that 3 seconds to go, and it's just so frustrating. You cannot lose that game when you come out in all green jerseys. You fire up your crowd. You have College Game Day on your campus. You have all this magic of Notre Dame, and you lose that game. It's just so frustrating. And we've seen it time and time again with Notre Dame. It's just so frustrating. I thought we had that one, and we didn't, and it's just heartbreaking to lose yet another game like this. My thoughts on it: we missed tackles. We had a lot of blown assignments and busted coverages, especially on that last drive, 3rd and 19. Are you kidding me? Wow, come on, be better. I thought we played man way too long. I thought Golden overthought a few things. As Logan mentioned, he went prevent defense on that 3rd and 19. Like, really? Come on. We dropped interceptions. We dropped at least 3 interceptions that I counted in the stadium. Obviously, that one on the last drive Logan was mentioning, DJ Brown catches that ball. I'm sitting here doing an Irish jig behind me in my dorm. And then, of course, 10 men on the last 2 plays. I wrote down in my notes here, WTF. Like, that can't not happen. Another note I want to mention here is 43 missed tackles through 4 games for the Irish. Obviously you look at the points we've given up, it's not many, but 43 missed tackles. I'd like to see that number be a lot lower, maybe in the single digits. But last thing I'll say here is Marcus Freeman's youth and inexperience showed late in the 4th quarter. JR mentioned taking the headset off the last play. When's the last time you saw Nick Saban take this headset off, even when he's up by 50 in the 4th quarter with 1 second to go and they're kneeing the damn ball? You don't. I mean,
$1.
Yeah, that's 2 for me. So I don't know. I'm just very disappointed in the staff. I'm not disappointed in any of the players. They played their tails off. They battled for 60 minutes. Even the 10 men on the field, they still battled. So moving on here, looking ahead or looking back to week 4, the other biggest joke other than the 10 guys on the field, is Colorado gets hammered 42-6. They got a nice piece of humble pie, baby. Before the game, they're stomping on the O, walking into Autzen Stadium saying, oh, this ain't nothing special, talking, laughing during their pregame at Oregon. 42-6, humble pie, baby. And now they got to go on the road, or they come back home to play USC. So, sorry, Dion, primetime might be over. Time's up, as Oregon's Duck said. Texas beat up Baylor. I had Baylor. So did Dylan. Texas surprised me. They're worthy. Clemson. They Clemsoned it and lost in overtime against Florida State. Goodness gracious. I was pulling for Clemson. I didn't get to see that. Logan, you guys did.
That kicker sucks.
Whoa.
Similar to
Yeah. Missed field goal.
Just run the ball, it's over.
Oh, but the kicker, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They had 2 missed field goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they talked about this big old story like during the game. They're like, oh, he was like cut or whatever from the team, and they brought him back, and they're like, here's his chance. They're hyping him up. It's a 23-yarder for the win. Oh, he shanks it right. They show his family.
But then again, they have the ball, just run the ball, make them call timeouts.
Yep.
But instead they threw 2 incompletions.
I have a not rant, but I got a realization on Clemson. Should I do it now?
Go for it.
They're in trouble.
I think Dabo, I mean, this is where I think a coach like Marcus Freeman is good for Notre Dame. He can adjust to the new age that goes into the whole NIL, get people over. You're getting transfer players. You look around all of college football, almost every player, every quarterback has been a transfer. You look over at Alabama, Buckner's been there. You look over at, Spencer Rattler to South Carolina. Almost everyone, Sam Hartman, Notre Dame, everyone's like a transfer player. You're moving people around. Keon Coleman was available on the open market. He goes to Florida State. Everyone is getting these NIL transfers. It's almost like they're free agents. But Dabo's stuck in his roots and doesn't want to do any NIL. He's playing the game the Dabo way. He's bringing guys to Clemson. He's going to make them Tigers. He's going to go out there and try to fight. What?
BYOG.
Yeah, bring your own guts. Well, you're bringing a lot of L's with you on the football field. And it's like you got to adjust to this age of college football. Some of these old coaches, Saban's doing it. But, I mean, Dabo's like stuck in his roots. He doesn't want to bring people in. If Keon Coleman goes to Clemson, they're probably a top 5 team. But he didn't even offer him. He didn't even look at him. He's like, I got my guys. And one thing they're missing is an outside threat.
You know, you said Nick Saban in Alabama. I think he's even struggling with NIL.
He is.
He is not up for this NIL type of era of college football. You saw it last year when NIL started to develop and become a big thing. And you've seen it this year. They beat Ole Miss, but they are not a great football team. So USC, I don't know if you guys stayed up and watched that game a little bit after our game. They struggled with Arizona State. They beat them.
Issues.
What?
Issues.
Yeah, they got a lot of issues. They turned the ball over a couple times. They did not stop Arizona State a lot. You're letting Drew Pine tear you up. I mean, you got issues if you're letting Drew Pine do that. Penn State with a statement win over Iowa. They won 31-0 over Iowa in the whiteout. Washington continues to impress me. They did give up 32 points to Cal. Only issue I've seen with Washington this year, 32 points to California. Utah sneaks by UCLA 14-7. Not the best game, but hey, credit to UCLA. They held Utah to 14 points. Ole Miss blows it again. Time and time again, we've seen Lane Kiffin almost beat Saban, but he just can't do it at the end of the day. So LSU survives at home. BK almost had an upset on his own home turf against Arkansas. He's got some issues, I think. Washington, they might make Washington State.
I got a damn fly that's been going across my face for the last 10 minutes.
I thought you were shaking your head at me. It was making me
That's
a little.
What I thought. BK's got some issues. He's like,
yeah, I got some issues here.
You got an issue with me too, pal?
Spray some off.
Donate another $1.
That's $5. F-bomb's $5. Washington State, they might make some noise in the Pac-12. I like this Washington State team. They're solid. Oklahoma's defense is legit. On another note, Cincinnati has major issues. North Carolina beats Pitt 41-24. I'm going to say it right now. Pat Narduzzi will be fired at the end of 2023. Pitt's not good at all. They are a bad football team. They are a bad football team. NC State wins a wild one over 0-4 Virginia. Virginia 0-4. Having a tough year after all that stuff that went down. I thought they would have a bounce back year and really rally together and play. Not the case. Wisconsin handles 1-3 Purdue 38-17. Boiler down, baby. Auburn loses 27-10 at A&M. Texas A&M, I think, gets a win this week as well and jumps back into the top 25. Virginia Tech. I don't know if you guys watched this one or saw this one. They lost to Marshall. We're not the only ones.
The club.
Exactly. Welcome to the club. Kentucky is 4-0. Maryland is 4-0. Louisville is 4-0. Oklahoma State is 2-2. I think Gundy's on the hot seat. He lost to a lower opponent the last couple of weeks. His seat's getting a little toasty there in Stillwater. IU beats Akron in 4 overtimes. overtimes against Akron. Honestly, it was a program-changing win for Tom Allen. That was a great team win for Tom Allen, JR.
Not even worth the air.
Pastor Allen gets another solid win on his
Mercy me, Maryland.
Northwestern. I don't know if you guys saw this. They trailed by 3 touchdowns in this game. They beat Minnesota in overtime. PJ Fleck's on the hot seat, I think, in Minnesota. He's got some issues. Row the boat. Row your boat all the way out of there. All right, time now to move to week 5. The Irish will travel to Durham on Saturday for a primetime top 25 showdown with number 17 Duke. College Game Day is headed to Durham for the first time ever for number 11 Notre Dame and number 17 Duke. Duke 4-0, Notre Dame 4-1. This is what I call the Logan trailer matchup because he's a big Duke guy for basketball. Duke football's a thing too, Logie.
Got a big one. We're going to find out a lot about, our football team Saturday. What an opportunity. It's amazing the brand of what Notre Dame stands for, playing 4 night games in a row. Frustrating to say the least. I don't understand why we have to do it at 7:30 every week. Not a big fan of that. But yeah, screws up with our preparation. We'll get back at 3 a.m. From Duke. So it's tough. So, this is the gauntlet. This is why Ohio State was so important. You had to win at home. But you got to go to Duke. You got to make a statement. It's a good football team. But obviously, I think we're 14 points better, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what we're working with. I'm nervous for it. This was one that was circled on the schedule way before the Ohio State game, way before the season started. Is like this is the one where you could see maybe a little bit of a letdown, as JR would say. But maybe they poke the bear. Maybe we just go out and, put 50 on them, or maybe we continue to struggle. We'll see. We'll see what type of team we have this year compared to last year. It worries me. You lose to Ohio State last year, first game of the year, and then you go to lose to Marshall. Mm-hmm. So, I think it all goes back to our preparation and what we're going to try to do. And, I think, one thing that worries me is our consistency with our pass rush. Just not there consistently. It's just frustrating to say the least. But hopefully it's going to be a good game for Audrey to come back. I think I'm excited for our youth as much as I hate to talk about it and say the future is bright. The big takeaway from Ohio State going in, for the rest of the season is there was a lot of big time guys that made big time plays that are freshmen and sophomores. So excited for them. I can't wait. And it is a signature win. It would be a signature win if we can go on the road and beat them. I think that puts us in a better position. But obviously, if we have any chance of making the playoffs, we can't lose another one. So, you got to win. You got to win out. That's what sucks. You put yourself in a position to beat Ohio State. And then now you drop that one, you got to win out in this tough schedule that we have. So hopefully we take care of business. Hopefully, we put 11 guys on the field every play. And we go from there.
I don't know. I think playing with 10 is a great strategy. It really throws the defense for a runner. I think it throws them off. What?
Especially on the one.
Exactly. You should just put one guy on the line, honestly, to be honest with you.
It worked one play.
It did when they threw the ball.
Not to go back to it, but JR, you made a great point. You're in a scheme, and especially the linebackers and those safeties, and you're looking, and you only see, what play you're running, what scheme you're in, and you only see three defensive linemen. There's got to be a player that realizes that too, right?
Touch the ball. Just.
All right, I'm done. Let's Duke.
I would have touched the ball if I noticed. Encroachment. Moving to the half-yard line. I'd rather lose on the half-yard line with 11 guys. Anyway, Riley Leonard he's their quarterback for Duke. He has 778 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. Jordan Waters has 39 carries, 258 yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns. Duke averages 37 points per game, and they've only allowed 35 points this season. So, JR, this is going to be a test for Notre Dame. This is going to be a telling game to who Notre Dame is this season.
We've left ourselves no room for error. It's obviously a critical win, but beating Ohio State and losing to Duke wouldn't have done any good either. So win or loss against Ohio State, still got to go to Duke, you still got to play them, and you still have to win. Because losing to Duke would be way more damaging than losing to Ohio State at home, obviously. So signature win, I'm going to disagree with Logan on that. It would be a nice benchmark to put up on the belt, on the resume. It's not a signature win. This is a dangerous game. They got a really good coach who's got some ties to our place. They've got a veteran quarterback. They've got all kinds of veteran leadership. They're very disciplined. They're Duke. Like, this is what is troubling me. How can I keep making fun of Zero State when Notre Dame is supposed to be this academic institution and we can't even count to 11 twice, back-to-back plays after a timeout? I have a really big problem with that. Like, we're supposed to be the scholars, and the scholars are going to face more scholars this week. So I like playing at 7:30. I think that is attractive.
Me too.
It makes prepping and scheduling very difficult. We're going to get home in the middle of the night, but we should have a lot of luxuries that maybe some other teams don't have. The difference is we got to go to class during the week, and maybe some of these other schools, they run to the trainer's office. So tough game, road game. This is all a mentality. Do we go down there and we play sorry for ourselves? We go down there to play with some gumption and, unzip our pants and stick out our testicles and say, here we are. We're back. We're going to run the table. Screw USC. All right. Screw everybody else that we're going to play. Clemson, we're going to come down there and we're going to do it to you too. We learned from our mistakes. We've grown. We've only got one recourse. We go down there and we take the only thing that matters. You go down there and you win the game. I don't want to hear any excuses.
Correct.
None. Go down there and win the game against a team that you should beat. What's the line?
5.5.
5.5. Okay. What's the weather? Should be, Hurricane Lee's out of the way, right?
Yep. No tropical storms.
Yeah. But, they're still, they beat Clemson. Okay. Good win. Open the season. But let's also look at who they've played leading up after Clemson. They've played Lafayette, Northwestern, and UConn. I mean, that's like the sisters of the poor, that 3-game stretch. Are they catching us at a good time? I don't know. I think they might have rather seen us off of a win than a loss, because now we're a little bit salty. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really disappointed. You know what? He's now South Bend Samuel. We'll see how he responds. If he can get back to South Bend Sammy, I don't know. But right now, he's South Bend Samuel. If he's interested in going playing, Noah's Ark and, the 10 Commandments with his, Lord helmet and the beard, I'm interested in wins. Go make it happen.
Got to. You have to win this game. You have to win this game, Dylan.
You do. I think they do, but that's not here nor there. I think looking at this team, this is a big moment. You look at what Sam Hartman did against Duke last year, obviously a different team, different program at Wake Forest. He put up 347 yards and 3 scores. That's a pretty good day. He also ran for 25 yards. I think, this is a game where Sam Hartman can really show that, hey, I am that quarterback you brought in. I can go on the road against a Duke who started the year pretty damn strong, Jar. But I think you can make plays against this team. Their defense isn't amazing. I think I think we should be able to control what we want to control offensively. Go out there like what JR said. Balanced attack, throw the ball well, but also pull it out, Give it to them. And that's what you got to do. Keep rotating the backs, keep using and playing to your strengths. And let's hope we don't have to rely on a kicker or anything like that.
I think the nice thing about this opponent, their weaknesses on defense are probably going to be really exposed by our strengths. So I like that matchup. How we handle their quarterback, being elusive and also being able to sling it around. This saw what Kyle McCord did. What's this guy going to do?
You got to put pressure on the kid. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, Al Golden, you have to put pressure on this kid. You have to. I mean, I'm very disappointed.
And if your upperclassmen can't do it, you got 2 stud freshman linebackers.
Yeah.
That are sitting right there. Go do it. Get someone in there that can do it. I don't care how long they've been at Notre Dame, except Baptiste. Baptiste had a hell of a game. That's one person we didn't mention. But other than him, that front 7, that any spot on that roster right now on that depth chart is open this week for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me. We're good against the run, great, but when we're playing, really good teams with really good quarterbacks, stopping the run is important. Don't get me wrong, but you got to put pressure on the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
you have to.
Let Jalen Sneed play.
Jalen Sneed, Drake Bowen. Oh, I'd love to see. That'd be awesome. Sneed plays his butt off. Made a great point there.
Gotta have it. That was our first gotta have it of the show, Logan. This team can score and they can defend pretty well. They have that Mike Elko defense. I'm not a big fan of Mike Elko. He's made some remarks against Notre Dame when he was at Texas A&M. Not a big fan.
He wanted paid. He was salty because we were cheap and we didn't give him the money that he thought he deserved as an assistant. So okay, go get your paycheck somewhere else. You want to be with us? If you don't want to be with us, you'll eventually be playing against us. So good luck. But put some more salt in the wound. Keep pouring it in going into this week. We'll see how we play.
Cry about it, Elko. I mean, cry about it. I'm not a fan of Mike Elko at all. Leaves after 1 season. That's whatever. By no means is this a get right game. I want to see how we respond after a crushing loss a week ago, because a week later at the exact same time, 7:30 p.m., we were playing our tails off against Ohio State. How do you respond against Duke? It is not. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. You play a national brand in Ohio State, and then you got to go on the road to some inky-dink stadium and play Duke. Oh, my goodness. It will be very telling of our staff. It'll be very telling of our players. It'll be very telling on the direction this program is going to go in. Last time you lost a big game like this, Logan mentioned it, you lost 21-10 against Ohio State. You put yourselves in some positions to win. You get beat by 2 possessions against Marshall. Can't happen against Duke. It cannot happen.
Listen, if I could play somebody like Ohio State every week, I would.
Mm-hmm.
I would. So I'm not going to sit here and cry about who we're playing or where we're playing or when we're playing or what time we're playing. We can't worry about those things. We got to beat the people that are in front of us. Some years the schedule's tougher than we think it will be. So some years it's lighter than we think it will be. Clemson already has 2 losses. Ohio State was a game. We failed. It's the same old Notre Dame. We lost again. So here we are. We're back to square one. Excuses. It is what it is. We put ourselves in the position that we put ourselves in. We got to dig ourselves out.
Yeah. Logan, what is your key to the game here on Saturday against the Blue Devils?
Offensively, it's got to be getting Sam back on track. It's got to get our wide receivers more involved. Jaden Greathouse has been playing well.
Where was Tyree?
It's difficult. Rico got a lot of snaps. I think I read yesterday Rico had like 51 snaps.
Yeah.
And the kid made plays. My biggest issue right now is, with the wide receivers, not necessarily the slots, but we have guys that are getting pushed around. Tobias all night last week got pushed around. It'd be good to see him get more physical at the point of attack. And, we got to get the deep ball. We have to get it. We have a quarterback that can do it. Hopefully, Sam, what's great about this is Sam has played these guys, 6 times?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. This will be his 6th.
This will be his 6th. So, it's nice going into there. That's where, like, these ACC games, I'm not really that nervous. Sam has been there, done that. Okay, we have a quarterback that has been here. We have a lot of kids that have been there and played these types of teams. But it's getting Sam back on track. Defensively, this is the front 7. We need them to have a good game. I would love to dominate this game. But, the running game, Ohio State, the stats flawed. I think they went for 130 yards or 120 yards, gave up a 60-yard run. You take that away. I hate to say it, you take it away, you only give up 60 yards to Ohio State. So, I think this is an opportunity to come out and say, okay, we can either fold or we can just go and dominate and just kick the living shit out of you and move on. Let's move on from this. Can't lick your wounds all week. You got to get out of it, because you lose this one, it's just done. So you got to come out ready to go.
JR?
Yeah, I'd say mindset and attitude. I'm tired of, the 3rd and 19 Al Golden special. I mean, this has been going on for a year and a half now, where we're giving up critical third and longs. That's mainly what it is. It's 3rd and long. Let's back off. No, keep the pressure on. Like, I don't know, but I think it's a mindset, a mentality. Coach said it pretty well yesterday in the press conference. How quickly can you wipe the slate clean and get refocused and go down there and play with some testicular fortitude, to put it politely.
Dylan Kearns.
This is the season. Honest to God, this is it. You lose this game, it's over. But you're gonna kill that fly. At least he's trying. Honestly, like it comes down to this. You lose this game, you might as well we'll be rowing the boat too, all the way back to wherever the hell we're going, Jar. But what I'm saying is, like, this is big time. So I'm with Logan. I think getting Sam Hartman right is what you need to do here. He's got the experience. He's played in that building. You can go on the road. It's a night game. Everyone's watching. Another game day experience. And it's a game where you should win. Only 5.5. I think that's a slap across the face. I really do. I think that's a slap across the face. But, I mean, you got to get him going. You got to get him going. And I want a balanced attack on offense. And I want to be able to. I want Sam Hartman to throw for like 4 touchdowns. Can we ask that? Can we ask of that?
Put on a Navy performance.
Yeah, just go out there and shove it. This needs to be a dominating win if they want to regain respect.
And I will add on to my point. I think it's a signature win if we blow the crap out of them. I'll kind of retract. I don't think it looks good if we beat them 14-10, 17-14. If we come in there, beat them 42-14, beat them by 20 points, that, in my opinion, becomes a signature win.
Especially how we lost. I agree with you, Logan. If we blow them out, it will be a big signature win, especially with how we lost last week. My key to the victory, I have 2 of them. One's for fun, one's serious. Pass rush. This game is going to come down to the pass rush. Joel Klatt said it last week against Ohio State. I agreed with him. I'm going to say this is my key to the game this week, though. The pass rush. Put his ass on the ground. Put his ass on the ground. I'm tired of it. Rush the quarterback, make him uncomfortable. McCord he was so comfortable in that game on the road. Come on. And lastly, another $1. Light a fire under your ass, for Christ's sake, too. Let's light a fire under your ass. Let's play our tails off. Let's go blow them out. Let's show them who we are. Let's show them that, okay, we lost a heartbreaker to Ohio State. We're not that team. We're better, to be honest with you. We're going to go blow out Duke, and we're going to run the table, and we're going to show people we are Notre Dame. Those are my keys to the game. That's the only time that I will cuss on this show. I'm just very fired up. No, it's true. I will not cuss the rest of the year. I promise you that.
Jeez, if they find a way next week, you're going to be.
I'm going to be a poor man. All right, time now for my favorite time, week 5 picks. I like this slate of games this week. A lot of tricky games. It's not nearly as good as it was last week. Some decent games in here. So week 5 picks will start here Friday night. I thought Friday was for high school teams. No, it's for the Pac-2. We got number 10, Utah, at number 9, Oregon, Friday at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. JR, Logan, Dylan, myself.
Can we get an updated record status? Do you have the records in front of you?
For what?
For our picks.
Oh, yes.
Keeping a ledger, aren't you?
I do have the
Come on. You taking calculus over there, testicle tech, or what? Come on, calculate that up. Let's go.
All right. After week 4, drop my pen. JR is 99-17 on the year. Logan is 99-17 on the year. Dylan is 94-22 on the year. And I am 96-20 on the year. So Dylan,
That's important information. I need to know that.
Sorry, Frenchie. Take it easy. No fun. Drink some lemonade.
I'm trying to win this thing, man.
Hey, drink some lemonade. It'll be all right, man.
I'm telling you, man, this is a salty week.
Make your pick
I'm
here.
gonna get the spoon on you there, trailer.
Yeah, you squirrels better have nuts in your mouths when you come down from there.
Pause.
What's the game? What's the Friday night game?
Oh, this is way out of line. Utah at Oregon State. Come on now, Bimbo.
Utah at Oregon State. Oh boy, wow, this is a tricky game. I'm gonna go Oregon State. Stuff the beaver.
After a loss. Oh gosh.
Yeah, dangerous spot.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Oregon State as well.
I'm going to take Oregon State. Utah's only good at home.
Oh, gosh darn it. This is going to be an all orange slate across the board. I'm going Oregon State at home after a loss, too. I don't like that. That's going to bite all of us now. Thanks. Number 6, Penn State at Northwestern, 12 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Penn State favored by 27 in this game.
This is a head nod.
Yeah, State Penn. Tickle us Sandusky.
This is not a head nod pick. I told you I'm not doing head nod picks for conference games. This is not a head nod. This is not a head nod pick.
You know how bad Northwestern is?
I do know how bad, but sometimes Penn State has a tendency to play down to their opponent. We've seen it time and time again with James Franklin, Illinois a few years ago. Give me Penn State, though. Number 8, USC at Colorado, 12 p.m. on Fox. Once again, big noon kickoff in Boulder.
I'm going to go USC. Colorado came down to earth. I like Hunter trying to get back into play, but Dion shut him down. USC, but USC, bring them on.
Hey,
This is one of my locks. I
okay.
don't know if we're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
The under is 73.5. Over under 73. I love the under. I don't think Colorado can. Yeah, they're a mess. USC's a mess. I'm going USC though.
Okay.
I'm writing that down.
University.
Yeah, there's one of them. I have 2 more, but we'll
Okay.
University of fill in the blank. And here's my thing. With Colorado, I wanted to say something on them today. Dion, really, man? Really, like this man, he's gonna go out there and he's playing the fence. Pick a side. Pick a side. He believed in this team. Oh yeah, this is my team. This is my team he's talking about. And now he's like, oh, you better get me while you can. Pick a damn side and ride with it. I'm sick and tired of huddling the fence because you make yourself look good in every situation when really you're making an ass of yourself. So go play football. Figure it out later.
Colorado, USC. USC favored by 20.
I love you, Dylan.
Love you too, cuz.
USC is favored by 21.5. That's the spread. I think USC wins, but I think Colorado covers. I think they respond well after a debacle of a performance in Autzen Stadium. So I got USC.
Their offensive line might be the worst in the country. Like, I'm being serious.
Rightfully so, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys got to watch that game at all, but
I watched the
oh
highlights.
gosh.
I watched the highlights of that one. USC cover, or sorry, Colorado covers. USC, they got some issues. I don't think they blow them out. Number 22, Florida at Kentucky, 12 p.m. on ESPN.
Florida at Kentucky. Give me Stoops. Give me Kentucky. I like his press conference this week.
All right, here we go. I'm going Gators.
It murked so good.
Give me the Wildcats at home. I love this game. This is a good old-fashioned rivalry down to the South. I like Kentucky Stoops. I think he's going to outcoach. I think they're going to outcoach him, outplay him. Give me the Cats.
Big
Number
game
one.
for JR. The Wildcats
And
can
I
get
won't back down.
Ain't this time. That's at the Swamp, baby. Number one, Georgia at Auburn, 3:30 p.m. on CBS.
Okay.
oh god.
This will be a better game. Georgia looked like shit for 2 straight weeks, Jar. I mean, last week they came out the gate slow. That was 7-7 in the second quarter. What's this nonsense, Georgia? You're not the number 1 team in the nation. That's it. I'm picking the Bulldogs. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to. Yeah, I know. You just say that. Don't make a pick. I thought you were going to pick Auburn. Number 2, Michigan at Nebraska, 3:30 p.m. on Fox.
Michigan.
Love Michigan in this.
I'm not going to say statement win because it's crazy, but I think Michigan literally dominates the heck out of Nebraska. They haven't dominated anyone yet. I think that they literally go like 55, maybe 60 to like 7 here.
I think Nebraska keeps it close, but I like Michigan in this one. Number 24, Kansas at number 3, Texas. We're going to find out what Kansas is about. They got a tough one, 3:30 p.m. on ABC.
I'll take the Sark at home.
Dark.
Yeah, you can. Kansas, I've said it before, they're a basketball school.
Yeah, I got Texas at home. I think they blow them out as well. A little reality check here for Kansas. Number 23, Missouri at Vandy, 4 p.m. on the SEC network. He's thinking about this one.
Well, I see that lip curl down below me. He's itching on this one. I think he's got something up his sleeve. I'm going to go Missouri, but Vandy might sneak this one out.
I'm going to go Mizzou.
He's trying to bait me into that.
Read between the lines here.
Is that Clark Lee still at Vanderbilt?
Oh God, don't do it.
No, I got to go with the Tigers.
I'm going Missouri as well. Number 13, LSU at number 20, Ole Miss, 6 p.m. on ESPN. We got Fat Boy BK versus Lane Train Lane Kiffin.
You know what I do like? I do like that we have one loss, LSU has a loss, Bama has a loss. They did reward us for losing to Ohio, playing, scheduling, and losing to Ohio State at home. We are ahead of both of them. It may cost us without a championship game at the end to play in, but for now, I like our positioning there. This is a funky game. I'll go LSU.
Ooh, he was not confident in that pick.
No.
Did you guys see what I sent in the chat last night? They were projected to go play them.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Give me LSU. Give me -3 too. I think they kick them.
Nice wink. I think, man, this is a good football game. But once again, Brian Kelly's going to get out coached against a good coach.
Ooh.
Ole Miss.
You know me, I love the Lane Train. I love Lane Kiffin. He hasn't done much at Ole Miss. He's such a letdown every single year. He's a letdown.
Oh, you aren't.
I'm eating the gumbo and I'm going out.
Mark this down.
And I hate gumbo. Number 9, Oregon at Stanford, 6:30 p.m. Old Pac-12 rivals, soon to be Big Ten rivals.
Oregon, but their coach is a douche.
Yeah. It was a crazy weekend with coaches. Unbelievable weekend. But Day's the bigger douche. I'm going Oregon.
This is a head nod game. I don't care if it's Pac-12.
Douche? No way. He had the guts to stand up to Deion Sanders. They're playing for clicks. We're playing for wins.
He did, yeah, but he did it. He's no different than Deion. He just took a different path. Like, he invited it. Like, that whole thing was staged, and he had it filmed, and then he released. It was all like, that's what Deion does, but he does it in like a positive manner. When the guy from Oregon did it in like a kind of a, I don't know, not so tasteful. Like, he knew they were going to roll them, man. Like, they didn't have their best player. That was a little fugazi.
Fugazi. Well, doesn't exist.
That's gonna morph into a weekly segment. Like, who's the fugazi of the week? Day or Lanning? They're both fugazi, if you ask me.
Iowa State at number 14, Oklahoma, 7 p.m. on Fox Sport 1.
They're back to Mobile-homa. They got me on the hook last week in my pick'em. Mobile-homa.
Yeah, give it the Sooners.
Mobile-homa.
Oklahoma at home. South Carolina at number 21, Tennessee, 7:30 p.m. on the SEC network.
Ooh.
Tennessee.
He's thinking about this one.
I love the Cox.
Pause. That's jar. That is jar worthy right there. That is jar worthy right there.
That's credit card worthy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that might be worse.
I'll take the it's crystal clear. I'm picking the Volunteers.
Ooh. All right. I think the Rocky Top hype is dead. I'm going South Carolina in this one. They're done. Tennessee is done. Stick a fork in them. They embarrassed themselves in their first SEC game on the road. No different at home. I think South Carolina goes on the road and beats Tennessee. Number 12, Alabama at Mississippi State, 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Bama.
Bama. I don't think they're going to lose another one. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but
I think
it gets it done.
They regrouped. They played well.
Yeah. It looks like a typical Alabama team.
They trailed in that game like 10-3.
The game that they always win. It's going to look ugly, but they'll win.
I like Alabama in this one. I think they lose at least 2 more games. Number 7, Washington at Arizona, 10 p.m.
Washington.
Wash.
They're still. I agree with what Logan said the other week. They are probably the most complete team in college football right now. Penix.
I think That's credit card.
No, that's a throwback.
No,
Remember?
yes, I know. Penix.
Throwback to the IU days. I called
You-
him Penix. I didn't know his name was Penix the first time.
You literally called him Penix. Yeah. I got Washington in this one. Man, I think they are very underrated. I think they should be in the top 4. Nevada at number 25, Fresno State. Welcome to the top 25, 10 p.m. on Fox Sport 1.
Fresno.
Fresno State's pretty good.
They used to be pretty good when we were younger, correct?
Yes.
Shout out
They've
Derek
always
Carr.
been decent. They have a pretty good program.
Derek Carr, baby.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I don't like to say that name, but yes, Devontae Adams, yes. I got Fresno State in this one.
At least your NFL team is in shambles too. Jeez, oh Pete.
Go Pat, go.
You don't actually like the Bears, do you?
Yeah, we're the worst team in NFL history.
Like you enjoy watching the Bears every Sunday?
Oh, I love it. It's a shot for every time we go 3-0. It's a great Sunday.
Gotcha.
Louisville at NC State. Here's some non-ranked games, by the way. Louisville at NC State, 7 p.m. on Friday on ESPN. Battle of the Notre Dame game.
We need Louisville. Wait, where's this game at?
NC State, Raleigh. Railed out in Raleigh.
It's at NC State. Give me NC State.
$1.
I like Louisville.
Yeah, this sucks. NC State's gonna win, and it's really gonna screw with the Irish here. If Louisville wins, they'll be ranked though.
Yeah.
I got the Wolfpack.
It's in Raleigh, Louisville, and NC State. It took a penalty for NC State to win last week at 0-4 Virginia. I think Louisville blows them out. NC State gets railed out in Raleigh. It's a good song, by the way. I got the card. It's going to be an undefeated. Louisville is going to come in undefeated against Notre Dame. Cincinnati at BYU. Welcome to the Big 12 game. 10:15 p.m. ESPN on Friday. Man, a lot of Friday games.
Yeah, BYU, they have an interesting schedule. This is a really late night game for Cincinnati. But
We'll do it.
let's go BYU useless.
Mormons, baby.
Yep, I got
Give me 2.5 too. They cover.
Michael Jackson.
I got BYU as well in this one. Cincinnati has all sorts of issues. They lost to Miami of Ohio. I think they're broken. They scored 6 points last week against Oklahoma. BYU, I'm hitting it. I'm hammering the spread too. Texas A&M versus Arkansas, 12 p.m. on the SEC Network in AT&T Stadium.
This is always a good game. Jerry's World, right?
Yeah.
What's the line here?
6.5.
A&M minus 6.5.
A&M. Yeah.
I'll take A&M, but Arkansas will cover.
Whew. All right. I'm taking A&M though.
I hate that building.
Jimbo.
I hate that building. Every single time we lose in Jerry World.
Who's we? Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Arizona State, 2013 we won.
Yeah. No one's looking at 2013. They're looking at the damn Clemson. They're looking at the upset against Oklahoma State. They're looking at everything.
Lana, you were 9, weren't you?
Yeah. Landon. And mowing grass and Bob doing mulch.
You test me on my history. Don't test me on my knowledge or my history. I can tell you the final score of these games, man. 20. The game against Oklahoma State was not played at AT&T Stadium, by the way. It was played in Arizona, University of Phoenix, or State Farm Stadium now, by the way.
Was it? Oregon State?
Oklahoma State.
Okay. I'm confused, but with that, I'm gonna go.
You're wrong.
I'm gonna go with Texas A&M.
Dylan, you're wrong. It was
Look at Lana. Lana's eating this out.
it was the Fiesta Bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl was played in Arizona.
Iowa State. Who did they lose to there?
Alabama, Clemson. Alabama and Clemson. We lost in the Rose Bowl 2021 and in 2020 or in 2018, 2019, whatever. We lost to Clemson. All right. I got Texas A&M in this one. Did you pick Texas A&M?
Yes.
Yep. Texas.
We're 9.
That was a head nod game, by the way.
No way. Absolutely not. This game is always tricky. Texas A&M, the best 8-4 team money can buy. Clemson at Syracuse, 12 p.m. on ABC. Does Dabo fall to 2-3? This would be the first time that Dabo would be 2-3 in his time at Clemson.
Man, he's in a tough spot.
Syracuse is undefeated.
The ship is the train is starting to fall off the tracks rather quickly. Watch out, Clemson. They could look like East Palestine pretty soon. I'll go Clemson.
Second lock of the week. I'm going to Clemson -7. A lot on the line here for Clemson.
What a line. JRG keeps coming up with new ones. I love it. Yeah, I'll take the Tigers. They bounced back the last time they got shafted.
You got to take a -7. Like there's no way Clemson and Syracuse is a close game.
In the Dome?
It might be. In the Dome, it might be. They're not bad.
That would be so bad. That would make me feel so confident being a Notre Dame fan. And that's even weird for me to say.
College football in a dome. It'll be me.
Battle of the Orange. Syracuse, Clemson. I think Dabo's completely lost his team.
No way.
I like Syracuse at home.
How did he lose his team for losing in overtime to the 4th-ranked team in the world?
Have you seen what his quarterback has done? He doesn't even shake his hand. Have you seen how his team treats him? Dabo was literally screaming at his defensive coordinator at halftime, called him out on national television, and was caught screaming at him on the headset. Dylan, this team is in shambles. This team is a dumpster fire. They are not a good football team whatsoever. Dabo has lost his – JR said it. The train is coming off the tracks fast. They are not a good football team.
At least they put 11 on the field.
Syracuse at home. Book it. Indiana at Maryland, 3:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network.
Head nod.
I just like to hear JR's rants on this guy.
I'm done ranting. That fix the issue.
Oh.
Fix the issue. Indiana is now completely apathetic. Did you see them singing the fight song afterwards? It is so embarrassing. It is beyond embarrassment. It's
singing it.
It's totally apathetic. I almost went to Syracuse. It came down to Syracuse and IU, and I went to IU, and Syracuse won the national championship the year later.
You went
basketball.
If you went to Syracuse, you could be joining me in the broadcast booth one of these days.
Yeah, I almost went to Syracuse. I didn't like it. Everything was uphill, and their dorm smelled like piss. So I was like, I'm out.
Mike Tirico.
Yeah.
Maryland. Everybody got Maryland.
Yeah, that's my third lock. Maryland covers 14.
Yeah. 14 at home against IU.
Thompson candy stripes this week.
Illinois at Purdue, 3:30 p.m. on Peacock.
Illinois at Purdue. Jeez, Pete.
What's the line on this?
I don't know.
One to the Purdue Boilermakers.
This is the state pen prison inmate game. Give me Illinois.
Yeah, give me Illinois as well.
Somebody passed the hand sanitizer after that pick.
Yeah.
Fighting Illini. No. Boilermakers.
I got Purdue at home and a bounce back. They're 1-3 right now. They're due for a win. I got the Boilers. Michigan State at Iowa, 7:30 p.m. on NBC. Battle of disaster right now.
Give this to me again.
Michigan State at Iowa, 7:30 p.m. NBC.
God, give me Iowa.
Ooh.
Oh,
I mean,
geez.
the bottom part of the Big Ten is just.
They have Iowa 11 and a half. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a
Give
bad
me-
one.
Give me Iowa, but
Dylan?
Hawkeyes.
I got Michigan State on the road. They need a win. They're going to get it on the road. Michigan State wins this one. West Virginia at TCU, 8 p.m. on ESPN2. This is an under-the-radar game in the Big 12.
TCU.
Give me the Horned Frogs.
Horny Froggies.
Jesus. I have West Virginia on the road defeating TCU.
You could have a really good week or a really bad week.
I could, but I like West Virginia in this one. The prison inmate games, we have two of them. Virginia, 0-4 at Boston College, 1-3, 2 p.m. on the CW network.
The CW. That's the most embarrassing thing of it all.
I mean, put this game on a TV, set it on the ship, and just sail it out to sea. I'll take BC.
Yeah, give me. Oh boy. Give me BC.
I like Castellanos. BC.
Okay. I like Boston College. I like Boston College here. Another prison inmate game, our second of the day. Pitt, 1-3 at Virginia Tech, 1-3. 8 p.m. on the ACC network.
Pitt at Vautech. I mean, wow.
How can you not get excited?
Vautech. I'll take the home team. Give me the Hokies. Do the hokey pokey. I'm gonna want to turn myself around on this game.
Hokies screw me in a parlay, so I'm done with them. Screw them. Give me Pitt.
That's a Sandman at night. That's gonna be jacked up. Virginia Tech.
Pitt, they're 1-3. I don't like Narduzzi. I don't like Pitt. Hit them harder. Virginia Tech. Pitt falls to 1-4. Number 11, Notre Dame at number 17, Duke, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Holly Rowe have the call on ABC. College Game Day rolling into town. Pat McAfee's going to be in Durham for his show on Friday afternoon. All right, we'll start at JR. Team and score as usual.
You know, Dylan brought up a good point earlier. You lose this game and you're teetering on the brink of disaster in year 2 of Freeman. You will have now blown a big lead in a bowl game. Granted, he wasn't the head coach then, but buck falls on him. You will have lost to Marshall. You will have played with 10 men on the field against Ohio State, and then you go on the road and you lose to a basketball school. Coach K ain't coaching. That's not a good first 2 years.
Stanford as well.
I don't anticipate. What's that?
Stanford as well last year at home, 16-14. You cannot forget about that game.
That's how bad it was. Out of sight, out of mind. I couldn't even. You can't even think. You can't even fathom that. Like that's like Indiana losing to Akron at home as a 29-point favorite.
Yes.
I mean, Jerry Faust isn't coaching the Zips anymore. The Rubber Bowl's been demolished.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to lose. And I'm anticipating our coach to have us completely mentally prepared and ready to play, coming out like gangbusters. I'm going to take the Irish 37. Give me Puke 24.
Puke. He said puke. Logan's got to think about this one, man.
This sucks. All right. Irish are going to win. I hope. Not very confident. They don't cover. It will be 23-20 Notre Dame.
That's sick. You make me sick. You know that? I think it's a big bounce back and a statement win for Notre Dame. 38-17, no questions asked.
38-17, I like that.
38-17, I like that as well.
Good, Dylan. I like that. Carry us through.
Not pom worthy.
That was the score last time we were in Durham in 2019. We beat them 38-17 on the road.
And they beat us at home one year.
2016, they beat us 38-35 at home. We gave up 28 points in the second quarter, and the crowd started chanting "Fire Van Gorder" at halftime. Next week, Van Gorder was fired. Listen, Marcus Freeman has two decisions to make here, or he has two ways he can go. He can either turn into a really good head coach if he wins this one and continues to win, or he could turn into a Tyrone Willingham or Charlie Weiss. Those two coaches had great talent. They had great teams. They could never finish games, and they sucked. I like Notre Dame in this one, 28-21. I think it comes down to the fourth quarter. I think our largest lead in this game is going to be 7. We might even trail in this game for a little bit, but I like Notre Dame 28-21. Back on track as they head into Durham on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. For JR, Logan, Dylan, I'm Landon Trailer. Go Irish, beat Blue Devils.